Please take your seats. Take your seats, please.
I am Senator George Thompson Sekibo. Mr. President, I'm coming under privileges. Order 10 and 11 of our standing orders. Order 10 and 11 of our standing orders. And then section 4, 228 and 318 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended.
You may read.
Order 10 says this: any senator may arise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to move without notice a motion declaring that a contempt or breach of his privilege has been committed, or referring the matter to the Committee on Ethics and Privileges. But if the matter is raised in Committee of the whole Senate, the chairman shall leave the chair to report progress. 11. When a matter of privilege at any time arises, the President shall, until the matter is disposed of, or unless the debate on a motion thereon is adjourned, suspend the consideration and decision of every other question, provided that precedence over other businesses shall not be given to any motion if, in the opinion of the President of the Senate, a prima facie case of breach of privilege has not been made out or the matter has not been raised at the earliest opportunity. That's from our standing rules. Mr. President, I go to section 4 of the Constitution. The legislative powers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be vested in the National Assembly for the Federation, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. The National Assembly shall have power to make laws for the peace, order, and good government of the Federation or any part thereof, with respect to any matter included in the exclusive legislative list set out in Part 1 of the second schedule to this Constitution. The power of the National Assembly to make laws for the peace, order, and good government of the Federation with respect to any matter included in the exclusive legislative list shall, save as otherwise provided in the Constitution, be to the exclusion of the House of State, the House of Assembly of the State. That is section 4. I will stop at this point. Sir, I will take you to section 228.
You may proceed.
Jason. Section 228. The National Assembly may by law provide, he's talking about INEC, guidelines and rules to ensure internal democracy within political parties, including making laws for the conduct of primaries, party congresses, and party convention. Take note. B, the conferment on the Independent National Electoral Commission of powers as may appear to the National Assembly to be necessary or desirable for the purpose of enabling the Commission more effectively ensure that political parties observe the practices of internal democracy, including the fair and transparent conduct of party primaries, party congresses, and party convention. D, I leave C. D, for the conferment on the Commission of other powers as may appear to the National Assembly to be necessary or desirable for the purpose of enabling the Commission more effectively to ensure that political parties observe the provisions of this part of the Constitution. Now we go to section 318. Section 318 is the interpretation of our Constitution. Number one, it says this. In this constitution, unless it is otherwise expressly provided or the context otherwise requires, civil service in the federation means service of the federation in a civil capacity as staff of the office of the president, the vice president, a ministry or department of the government of the federation assigned with the responsibility for any business or government of the federation. And then it went further to say, public service of the federation means the service of the federation in any capacity in respect of the government of the federation and includes services as clerk or other staff of the National Assembly or of each house of the National Assembly, member of staff of the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, the Federal High Court, the National Industrial Court, the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the Sharia Court of Appeal of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the Customary Court of Appeal of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, or other courts established for the Federation by this Constitution and by the Act of the National Assembly. It went further. Public service means member of staff of any commission or authority established for the Federation by this Constitution or by any act of the National Assembly. It now says D, staff of any area council, staff of statutory corporation established by an act of the National Assembly, staff of educational institution, and it defines all the staff. Mr. President, I come under these orders because of a judgment that was delivered in Abia State, I think just last week. That's why I'm coming with this order. I don't have anything against the judge, but Mr. President, the difference, what the man is relying on in his judgment is not the interpretation of the Constitution. The Constitution defines for us who is a civil servant and who is a public servant. It does not include political appointees. It does not. More so, Section 4 gives us the power to make good laws. And in our mind and our mindset, any law we are making here is a good law. Now, Section 228 gives us also the power to make certain laws to guard the independent National Electoral Commission so that it can effectively discharge our function. If in course of our job, and we felt that Section 8412, as we enshrined in the Independent Electoral Act that was just assented to, is for the good interest of the country, of the people, I don't think that we should just be somebody we go to court without joining the Senate or the House of Representatives where this law emanates from, because we originate the law before the president ascended to it. So if you think it is faulty, either you take us to court or make us part of that case. We did not know, we were not told, and then they just went there and got a judgment destroying our work over 1 year, struggling to do here, as if no one here has the head to do any good thing. So we are here to make good laws for our country. And so I want to move, because the privilege is to ask me that I can move a motion without necessarily telling you before. I want to move that matter be discussed now, or be discussed as a motion. The Senate discuss that matter and take a position. The reason is very simple. If you don't do so, tomorrow somebody can just go to court and just bring any law we've made here and destroy it, which is not good for democracy. There are 3 arms of government: the judiciary, the legislature, and then the executive. We have our separate functions. We are independent. I am not saying that the court cannot interpret our laws. The court will interpret our laws, but not necessarily telling us that what we have done is a sham. So, Mr. President, I want to move that this Senate look into this matter and discuss it and take a stand on it. So, whether we are to appeal on the matter or to say that we can give Nigerians the opportunity to jettison whatever we are doing here anytime, any day. I so move.
The issue raising through my mind of this point of order is not so much the merit or otherwise of it. There's no debate that there's merit to this. The question becomes whether we take it now or we move it to tomorrow when the Senate President is here. We'll probably have a much bigger house. Yes, Chief Whip.
Order 22. In the absence of the President of the Senate, the Deputy President of the Senate shall perform all the duties and functions of the President of the Senate. I am just saying that one so that let it be on record, so that what we have done now should not be a precedent. Otherwise, tomorrow somebody will say,
Absolutely. No. Senator Kibo. Excuse me. Please take your seat. The reason I took this decision is because I want a fuller house. I want a fuller house for this debate because this matter is very, very fundamental and it will be good to have the input of all senators. And I'm not sure that people had notice. I'm not sure that people were privy to the fact that these discussions will arise this morning. So I think it's in the best interest of this chamber that we give all of our colleagues, or as many of our colleagues as possible, the opportunity to show up tomorrow and make their input. That is the reason for the decision. Thank you very much. Leader of the Senate.